Elder B. H. Roberts said that the presence of so many thousands of saints at this annual conference of the Church was in itself great evidence to him of the truth of the great Latter-day work. The Spirit of God is certainly moving upon the people and inspires them to gather together to learn the ways of the Lord. So far we have not, as individuals nor as a people, passed through any experience or difficulty that has not been calculated to benefit us. The Lord will cause his people to pass through such ordeals as will do them the most good, and give each one of us the experience most needed. By this means only will we be able to attain to that exalted position for which we are aiming. At the time the saints were being driven out of Missouri, Joseph the prophet passed through most trying scenes. But as he lay incarcerated in a dreary dungeon, together with several of his brethren, the Lord spoke comforting words to his soul, and explained to him, at least in part, why he allowed his servants thus to suffer. Says the Lord, Doctrine and Covenants 122, 3-8. The people shall never be turned against thee by the testimony of traitors, and, although their influence shall cast thee into trouble, and into bars and walls, thou shalt be had in honor, and but for a small moment, and thy voice shall be more terrible in the midst of thine enemies than the fierce lion, because of thy righteousness. And thy God shall stand by thee forever and ever, if thou art called to pass through tribulation, if thou art in perils among false brethren, if thou art in perils among robbers, if thou art in perils by land or by sea, if thou art accused with all manner of false accusations, if thine enemies fall upon thee, if they tear thee from the society of thy father and mother and brethren and sisters, and if with a drawn sword thine enemies tear thee from the bosom of thy wife and of thine offspring, and if thou shouldst be cast into the pit, or into the hands of murderers, and the sentence of death passed upon thee, if thou be cast into the deep, if the billowing surge conspire against thee, if fierce winds become thine enemy, if the heavens gather blackness, and all the elements combine to hedge up the way, and above all, if the very jaws of hell shall gape open the mouth wide after thee, know thou, my son, that these things shall give thee experience, and shall be for thy good. The Son of Man hath descended below them all. Art thou greater than he? Of the many great and glorious revelations given to the prophet Joseph, perhaps none of them contain greater promises than this one. In that time many prominent men in the church turned against the prophet, and became traitors to him and the work of God. But they did not succeed in turning the hearts of the saints away from him, nor did their opposition to him harm in the least degree in the final outcome. As it was with the prophet Joseph, so will it be with all the Latter-day Saints, who prove faithful to their God and his cause. Then let persecution continue to rage and bring what it will. Let there be another exodus, and another breaking up of our homes, and sacrifice of worldly possessions. Yet let death come in its worst forms, or chains of slavery, and it will all be for our good, and we have no grounds for fear. The speaker then read an extract from another revelation, in which the Lord commands his people to renounce war and proclaim peace, and seek diligently to turn the hearts of their children to their fathers, and the hearts of the fathers to the children. Doctrine and Covenants 98, 16-17. And then said it was a strange fact that notwithstanding the peaceful mission of the Latter-day Saints in behalf of both the living and the dead, they should be defamed and denounced as a wicked and bloodthirsty people, and be accused of disloyalty and numerous other crimes entirely unknown among us. Peace on earth and goodwill to man is and has always been our motto, and nothing could be farther from the truth than the accusation that we are a rebellious and warlike people. Truth, however, though slow in its progress, will prevail at last, and establish itself on the ruins of falsehood. And where revolution may succeed revolution, society be destroyed, and virtue and truth be trampled underfoot by the wicked and ungodly, these mountain valleys shall preserve the virtues, strength, and elements of truth which shall finally renovate the earth, and restore its inhabitants once more to their original purity and happiness.